All right. So, take two, but this time I'm on my phone. Guys, it was the only way to try to invite somebody. So we're just going to turn my notifications down and go back to that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my computer on mute and try to see the comments on there. All right. So I see people joining, and I know that I did the invite. Oh, and now it says I can bring them on camera. So apparently the computer just doesn't like me. So I'm going to be using my phone. So now you get to see even a close-up of me. Sorry about that. All right. So that's on mute. Hello again. Yep. Okay. So I'm on my mobile, which is weird, but all right. So now Gina should be able to join. All right. So don't mind me, just typing away. Yes, I'm on my phone now. Because now it's a lot closer and I feel like it's at a really weird angle. But we'll deal. Okay. So let's see. I'm just trying to make sure she can join. Oh, there's so many options on your phone that you don't have. All right, it's not coming through yet, Gina. So, yeah, I have my laptop up like right behind my phone, like right behind it. So, all right. So, while we work to get Gina back in here, I'm just going to play with my books, or at least get them situated, because I had to go pull them all off my shelves. I say all, but there's only two, I promise. We're not going to make this 6 hours long or anything like that. But, all right, let me keep clicking. There we go. All right, now I can add Gina. And there we go. Yay. There we go. Wait. Okay, I can see it now. Yay. Oh my goodness. All right. Technology is not my friend tonight, apparently. I guess I can move my microphone. I don't really need that over here anymore. All right. Now,
Can you hear
everybody
me?
can see us? Yep, I can hear you.
Excellent.
Cool beans. All right. Hi, everybody. So I'm Michelle. I'm pretty new to this. And wow, that is like a really big close-up. I don't like that. Let me just try to back up. See if I just back away from my computer, if that'll help a little bit. I feel like I'm like stretched out, but it'll be all right. Like it's weird. On my phone,
It looks fine on my phone too, but
yeah, on my phone it looks fine, but then on the computer it looks like really stupid weird. But
it's
I
odd.
backed up really far, so I mean I can still reach my keyboard if I need to.
I'm trying to make a makeshift phone stand.
And I got like lovely Sam like right behind me, so this is just great. It's like a close up on Sam.
Oh, nope, that didn't work.
I backed up, I promise. I did. I don't think I can back up any farther though. I have like a bazillion blankets behind me. Like I keep backing up, but it's like not
Not
okay.
working.
A little bit. All right.
Okay, cool.
So, books. I'm a huge book nerd. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a huge book nerd. My entire office is full of books. I write books. I read books. I live and breathe books. My husband hates that I love books so much because the bookstores are like the devil.
I mean, if I get out for less than 100, it's a good day, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, that was my Christmas present one year. $100. Here you go to this bookstore. Awesome.
We're good company, it looks like.
So, but yeah, so books are my thing. And he keeps telling me we can't go to the bookstores, but what he doesn't know is Amazon has like pretty much everything I need. So I just
For
order from
the,
there.
for the most part, you can get the majority on Amazon or like 8 Books or Books a Million. But there are some indie authors that really only publish on their own independent labels. And some of those books are
Mhm.
really good quality books on obscure topics. That those are the ones that you got to go hunt down and get.
Oh yeah, I've gotten a couple of them. Actually, there's a few on my list that I cannot get from Amazon, and I'm like, where am I going to get them? And I have no idea. Like, I absolutely have no idea. I mean, well, my bookshelves are kind of messy right now because I just kind of toss everything on it. Because I mean, like, I have books on my floor. They're literally everywhere. No, you're fine. We were having technical difficulties because apparently technology hates me today.
I think it hates both of us in all fairness.
So, but see, I'm not used to streaming on Facebook. I normally stream on Twitch, which is a little bit different. So,
Definitely different.
all right. So, the book series. So we're gonna do a book series, and every month we're gonna have different books for you guys. If there's books that you guys prefer, want us to check out, let me know. This is just kind of an introduction and like, hey, here's some beginner books that you guys can check out. I would love to get some on, different herbs and teas and crystals and essential oils, all that fun stuff. Um, talk about our first books that we ever got and our favorite books, the ones that we go to all the time that probably look like they've been through the, washer and dryer a couple times.
I mean, some maybe, potentially. Not all of my books wind up that way. Majority, I take really good care of my books because I really, really like my books. But also, if there's a book I know I'm going to beat up, I buy 2 copies of them. So I can have like the copy I write all my notes in and highlight things and, can throw in my purse and beat it up. So it just depends what book it is if I do that.
Oh, I understand. I'm just trying to move my head up. Think back a little bit more. All right.
I know, I feel like it's looking up my nose or something crazy, and I'm like, oh God.
Yep. Yep. That's why I'm trying to like back up as far as I can and just kind of like move my monitor as far back because it's my phone is sitting on like a whole bunch of like stuff that's underneath of my monitor right now. So but yeah, no. So I take very good care of my books, but there are a few books that I have lent out that have come back that I'm just like, what did you do? And like before I lend a book out, like my first thing is do not bend my pages, do not dog ear anything. If you need to save your spot, get a receipt, I get something. Piece of paper, paper towel, I don't care. Stick it in the book. Do not bend any of my pages.
So
Um,
this is kind of my rule with lending anything. If I lend something out, I don't necessarily expect it back. I would like it back, but I definitely don't expect it back in the same condition it was lent, just because I know accidents happen, life happens, and nobody's going to treat their items exactly the same as I do.
yep.
So,
I've written like at the time it was 31 books and I lent all of my books out to the lady who works in my husband's office. And I was for months that she had them. I was like in a panic. I'm like, are my books okay? She's like, they're fine. I promise you. Like, I'm barely opening them and I'm being really careful. And I was just in a massive panic. And I was like, I just want them to come back in one piece. Like, I'm so weird about my books. Like, it's crazy. And I have everything in like some weird organization stuff. Oh, oh
oh,
no.
Haley, your sister's naughty, but I am glad you
Very.
got her into magnetic bookmarks.
I would have cried. Been like, no. That was one thing I taught my little sister when she first started reading. I'm like, never do this. You're like, why? I was like, because. I was like, if you do, you're disowned. And she's like, okay. But she's pretty good about it. Like, she gets like these like really cool like cute bookmarks and stuff, and then I get jealous because I'm like, "Where'd you get this bookmark from?" And she's like, "Oh, I got it from here." And I'm like, "Can I have one?" Like, buy two when you buy these things, so I can have them too.
I mean, if I don't have a bookmark handy, I just tear off a piece of scratch paper and shove it in the book.
Yep. I actually made some,
Girl.
and I
Carol's a
don't
book.
even know where they are. I have stickers on my desk that I sometimes use, but like I made these lanyards for this cruise once, and the little cards that they came in. I basically started making them with those, like using my like tape and like stickers and stuff. So I have them. I just don't know where any of them are. Maybe they're all in books somewhere. Actually, I think one is in my book. It's in the living room, or no, it's in the kitchen. It's sitting on the kitchen table. There is one in there, but it's like all the way across the house, and I'm not walking over there to go get it.
Well, do you want to jump into it? We're going to
Yeah.
show you guys some beginning, like books for beginners that we recommend or don't recommend, or and why, and kind of just discuss a little bit.
So one of my favorites, and I know that I've probably mentioned this in different places. It's called The Witch's Journal. I'm gonna just hold it for my face because it's probably the best place to put it right now. But oh, gotta go down, gotta go down. But it's really, really cool. So I actually got this from somebody else. Like somebody gave me this book, and I didn't think that I was gonna love it as much as I did. Um, but inside it has like so many cool things. Like one of my favorite pages, let me try to find it real fast, is the colors page. It has like different colors and like different things you can do with them and all this like stuff in here. It's absolutely amazing. And I have referenced this book for so many different things. Like it's so well organized. They have like stuff about altars, healing potions, tarot, runes, scrying, astrology. Like it just kind of touches on like the beginnings of everything and not like in detail, but it's just like a little bit of like information just to kind of get people started, or just the basic information that you would need to know. It's pretty much in here. I can hear the guy laughing. It's driving me nuts. But like Greek and Roman deities, things like that, like it really has, for the size of the book, it has a lot of information shoved in here, which is
Yeah.
great. But it's by Celine Silverwind, and I'll type it in chat if you guys want, so that way you guys can have the name. I'm just gonna kind of lean. Let me make sure I spell this right. And
So
I can also take a picture of it for anybody who like needs to make sure to get the right copy. I think she got it from Books a Million. So if you have one near you, I think that's where she got it from.
usually you can pick them up occasionally, like not only on online, but I think I've seen that one also. If you have a Barnes and Noble in your area, you might be able to find that.
Yep, yep. And like I said, I absolutely love it. Like I just kind of like, the person who gave it to me isn't really she doesn't really believe in this type of thing. She doesn't really like follow it. She's very, you know, indifferent to it. And I was just really surprised that she picked it up for me. And I was, like I said, really surprised that I liked it as much as I did. There's so much cool stuff in there. My house is.
Oh, your audio cut out.
Oh no, I was just reading.
Oh, oh, okay.
Sorry.
Um,
Um, but yeah, that was my number one pick.
and so I'm going to just have a little disclaimer really quick. There's a lot of books that you can look at for face value and go, oh, this book may or may not be very handy. But if you pick and choose, just like you would on a buffet, what it is for content that you like that speaks to you and is applicable, you can find books that other people will find not useful. So not one book is a one size fits all for everybody. So that's something to consider. Um, you may not practice the same kind of magic as another person, but a book on the same kind of magic that they practice that you don't might give
Mhm.
you an eye-opening aha moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like I said, I mean, I think it was just really cool. In the book, like I don't keep saying it. It just, there's so much information packed in it, and I've referenced it a couple times when I've needed, like, oh, I remember seeing that somewhere, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's in this book. Well, let me go grab it.
And you'll find a lot of books that have those really good reference materials, but you'll notice that if you were to compare them all, they'll have slight differences.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yep.
example, there is a book which I read this book. I do not like the book. Not the book you're showing, a different book. I read Laurie Cabot's Book of Shadows.
Okay.
I don't like the book. I don't like all the content of the book. However, there are some really good sections like on color magic that once
Yep.
again could be super useful for somebody. It also has some numerology, which also could be. But did it work for me? No. Doesn't mean it's not a good book, but it's very geared towards, and I think the reason why it's not a good book for me for a beginner, it's geared towards the Cabot tradition of witchcraft, which is based off of Wicca, and I don't practice Wicca. So that would be why it wasn't good for me. But it
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's not good for somebody else.
Oh yeah, I agree with that because I've seen some books that are based on one specific thing, and I just haven't been able to get through it yet. But there are certain pieces in it that I'm like, okay, I kind of like this. So what I do is I'll actually write it down. Let me
Yep.
see if I
And
can find it real fast.
that's I mean, that's kind
Like,
of the best thing you can do is kind of you write into your
yep,
grimoire or your book of
yep.
shadows or your book of light the things that are applicable for you, what resonates for you.
That's exactly what I do. I write it down, or I'll copy it into like a Word document if I'm just feel like typing it instead of writing. And then this way I at least have it and I can just do what I need to do and I can reference back to just that. Cause like I have notebooks upon notebooks just full of information.
Yeah. One of the books I did want to recommend is the Witch's Bible.
Okay.
This book is a little daunting for a lot of newer witches because it is a heavier, thicker book. It
Uh-huh.
does go into pretty varied topics, anything from Sabbat, casting circles, banishing circles, a book of shadows, different kinds of rites, different kinds of spells, witches' tools. If you wanted to run a coven, how to do that. Talks about clairvoyance a bit and astral projection. It does have some charts in it. It has a very nice appendix and a glossary, which I find is kind of useful. Um, but as you kind of go through, I mean, it's almost all itty bitty tiny print. So if you are vision impaired, buy it on your Kindle or on your Nook, just because it's very hard to read with tiny, tiny print. But it's really
Mhm.
good. It does have some risque pictures in it in different sections because it also does cover witchcraft and sex, just as a FYI. But it actually is a pretty good beginner's book, and even an advanced practitioner's book to have handy. So it's kind of an overall. Yeah.
Mhm.
It. I mean, the book itself is the size of your hand this way, but then if you look at how wide,
Yep.
it's pretty wide. Comes in at, not counting the appendix or the glossary, 316 pages.
Oh wow. I think that
So
one's gonna have to get added to my list. My ever growing list never goes away.
no, the book list always grows. You might get one or two off, and then it just adds more on.
Yeah. I actually have a spreadsheet that has all the books that I actually own and then all the books that I don't own yet that I want. And I'm just like, it's never gonna get shorter. It's just never going away.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that one sounds pretty good. I like it. And even the different I think there's another book that I have that has some risque pictures in it. I want to say that it might be Buckley's, but I'm not sure.
And
Um,
Buckley's does also have some risque pictures as well, and I do have that handy
yep.
too. Those are also two recommendations from me.
Yep, that one I have on my bookshelf. I haven't gone through it. I just kind of skimmed through it. I have this massive book. It's all about spirits, and obviously we can get into that in another series. But that one
Yeah.
is so awesome. Um, I have the Green Witch's book and the House Witch. Oh, I have House Witch. That one I believe is up there. I don't know. My I don't have my glasses on, so it's really hard for me to see my books. There is another one that I actually really like. It's called Year to Witch. I don't know if anybody's ever had it before. Um, it's kind of like the shortened version of like the one that have like every book is about a different Sabbath. This is just like a shorter, quicker version and cheaper version in case anybody was like, oh, I need something that I can just take with me that has everything in it. This is a great option. Yep, I love it. It was one of the first ones I got about the Sabbath and stuff, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And then somebody told me about the other ones, and I'm like, I take it back. They're all the coolest thing ever. I was like, because now I use them both all the time.
Yeah, it's a handy book. It is nice to have it all in one place versus multiple places. Although
Mhm.
the Sabbath series by Llewellyn is a good collection. So if you want to use the little individual ones that are very specific for each of the Sabbaths, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. The content is great. However, I do find that a little bit different perspective with Alden's Hear the Witch is
Mhm.
nice. And it is handy to have it all in one place. It's definitely very beginner friendly.
Yes.
And the author definitely has a little bit of a different perspective than like you'll find on Scott Cunningham. Because I can see that Billy Joel also comment. And Scott Cunningham's books are good for beginners, but they are very much, once again, Wiccan centric or
Mhm.
green magic centric for the most part. There are other works of Scott Cunningham that are not, that we could definitely dive into on a different live. This is not the live for
Yeah.
why they are good or not good.
There's a lady I used to watch on a podcast. She's called the Fat Feminist Witch.
Oh,
I mean, the
love that
podcast was
podcast.
she was amazing, and she actually has books published. So I bought some of her books. And she, like obviously we're just kind of going through. She could be, part of another series as well. She has a lot of like Green Witch, jar spells, things like that, which is really really cool. And I was really excited to get a lot of her books. And I do have some Scott Cunningham stuff. I don't have a lot, but I kind of try to stick with like a little bit of this and a little bit of everything. Um, I think there was a book that actually Crystal mentioned in one of her lives about tea, and I bought that one, and that wasn't too long ago. That one's somewhere. I don't remember where I put it because I have books everywhere. So it's either on my shelf or just kind of sitting somewhere around my desk. I don't know. My office is a disaster, so it's like I can never find things, and I give up. I guess it's organized chaos.
I have so many bookshelves and walls of them that I feel like I have a small library, and trying to find where I shoved a book sometimes is the hardest thing ever. So I get
I
it.
can't fit any more bookshelves in my office specifically because if not, it's gonna block my closet, which has like all of like it has like my altar and everything in it. But our spare room has two bookshelves, and eventually I'd like to turn those into more of my bookshelves, just kind of expanding. Um, but I have to do it like very, very slowly because I don't want my husband to be like, "Where did these books come
Overwhelmed.
from?" Store. I found them outside.
So this is the Buckland book that you were talking about earlier, the Complete Book of Witchcraft. Now this one, the Blue Book, as people will
Mhm.
call it, the Blue Book is a good beginner's book.
Yeah.
There's really nothing wrong with it. It does have some great content. Once again, you'll get everything from pictures, from like different jewelry, different diagrams of how to lay out an altar. It's got artwork in it. It has all sorts of numbers. It talks about the difference between widdershins and clockwise. It's got all different symbols, some charts, some mandalas. It has a little bit of everything. However, this only seems like half of a good beginner's book. I always recommend getting the red book to go with it because that kind of rounds out the rest of the story for a beginner. So you've got your witchcraft plus the spirits,
Yep.
which is kind of what Buckland was into.
Hmm.
If you are more Wicca centric, Buckland does have a good Wicca for One book that also is a good companion for a beginner. to go
Okay.
with the blue book. But that's, once again, if you want to really dive Wicca centric. Where
Yeah.
the blue book is kind of, yes, it's still Wicca, but it's not as Wiccan heavy as other. Um,
It's funny because as we're sitting here, this one was actually next to my desk. But I don't know, does anybody ever get these type of books, the Magical Almanac? Because I started buying it like last year. I got the first
mhm,
one, and I got this one this year because I also get the
mhm.
calendar book. But this is super cool too if you like to keep up on different things throughout the year. Um, like I like to check out my birthday and my husband's birthday and like everybody else that I know, like anybody's birthdays that pop up. But that I feel is also a good kind of starter if you're starting in a year or something like that. You could definitely pick up this and just be like, it kind of gives you all that information in the beginning and in the end and really throughout the whole thing. But it's just really cool to go through and like see everything for every specific day. And I know it doesn't
Well,
go like in details or anything.
but it is nice though, because not only does it give you some information about the day, you'll get in both the calendar and the almanac, you'll get little mini spells, little mini rites, you'll get a little bit of history. Sometimes you get a little color magic, sometimes you get a scent correspondence, sometimes you get some candle magic. You can wind up with those books getting a little bit of everything. And if you were to take as a practitioner what is applicable to you or what resonates to you in the almanac and the calendar, you could really round out a super great grimoire. Ellen, no, that should be the Llewellyn's almanac.
The magical one.
Yep.
I can hold it up again if it shows up. Oh, come down a little bit.
They,
But yeah,
they come
it's
out
the
every year.
magical one.
Every year.
Yep. I still have mine from last year somewhere.
Yeah, I never get rid of them. I like they also have a moon one that's kind of along the same lines where it's like moon correspondences specifically. I believe
Mhm.
they have an astrology one that comes out also once a year as well. Like they have different ones that are catered towards kind of just generalities and then ones that are very specific for
Yeah.
practitioners who work with either the stars or the moon.
Which I really like because I know a lot of people practice very differently. Like me, that's why I like the book so much is because I like pulling things from different areas and different things. Like I don't just follow one specific thing. Like, I may really take on to one thing and then, only a little bit from this and a little bit from that. Um, but that's what I like about books is because there's not one specific, you know, one size fits all book. There's so many books that you can get. I mean, I only have a very small portion on my bookshelves. I'm actually, you know, getting them. Well, I'm gonna have to move my tarot cards and stuff soon, um, but yeah. So that's what I really like about books is you can get everything under the sun basically. I even have some about deities up there, so I always try to get a little bit of everything. I like to get the Moon Planner book every year. Okay, yep.
Yep.
My almanac actually it's right down here. Everything is
Yep.
on my desk apparently. I I had to move things off my desk so I can make room for like my work stuff, and I put it all on the floor next to me. But this is the actual calendar that I know
Yep.
some people do get. And this also has a lot of cool stuff in it because it gives you like when you can write like I'll write like my lives and things like that in here, but it gives you all those specific things during the day and things like that. So there are so many amazing options.
And the nice thing too with the Llewellyn series, both like the almanac, the planners, they all have different authors within the witchcraft, pagan, spiritual practitioner community that will write different entries. So it could be that they've written a spell or a rite specific just for that entry.
Mhm.
It could be that they're sharing some history. Like it's kind of neat. So like if you have a very certain author that you really like, you can get it there, which is amazing. Like you could get like Matt Oren is a pretty famous author right now within the community. You'll get that. Laura Tempest Zakroff, her books will wind up like, or her stories, and sometimes like a poem or a rite or a spell from her will wind up in it. Like you can find all sorts of stuff. And it's really kind of neat having that diversity of all the people coming together.
Oh yeah, and that's like I said, that's I love it. I love all that stuff. I do want to ask a question, and I want everybody to answer if you can. But do you have a favorite beginner book? Like, what is your go-to beginner book that you? It could even be the first book you ever bought. I mean, that's technically your beginner book. Um, but like I said, for me, actually, the very first book I got was completely out there, and I didn't even realize it. It was actually botanical. Botanical book, and I'm just like, okay. And then after that, I just started collecting. I think The Year and a Witch was actually one of my next newest books that I actually got, just because I was like, oh, this is so cool. Um, but that was it for me.
So I know that one of my first books, which is not a beginner's book, was back when Walden Books used to be open, and I would go to the mall to get, because I also am a nerd and play D&D. So I would go to get my D&D books and my D&D magazines, and I stumbled upon High Magic, which is
Okay.
not a beginner book at all. Definitely not a good one for a beginner, but interesting nonetheless.
But it was your beginner book, which makes it special to you.
Yes, yes. Ooh, Soraya one, a Scottish witchcraft and author. Was it a good one, Carol? Nocturnal Witchcraft. That is a good book. I have read that, Holly. There are some things I took away from that I enjoyed, and some things I did not.
And then you're gonna find that in all books. I mean, like I'm sure there's stuff in, the Witch's Journal that I love that other people are gonna be like, oh, I'm not really too excited about this.
Alan, I don't know if we're gonna call it advanced or maybe just overachiever, like saw something and going, "Ooh, hey, high magic! This sounds kind of cool," and being a teenager thinking that was super super cool.
Okay,
Ooh,
okay.
Scott
Haley said,
Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Gem and Mag. Ooh,
yeah, I like that. I
that
need to
is a
get
good
some.
one. Yeah, Holly, there is some iffy stuff in that Nocturnal Witchcraft, but there was stuff that I could take away.
Yeah, see, I feel like during these book series lives, I'm gonna be adding a lot more books to my list that I have.
Yeah, the Sarayan one, I've never heard of, and I'm gonna have to write that one down really quick here. Because I'm like, ooh, I never heard of that one. Oh, as I just scatter all my flashcards for my class. Oops. Oopsies.
Yeah, I took down I had a whole bunch of work papers like up on my board, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have that up there because it has like all of like people's like days off, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just take that down. But my desk is like a disaster. Like I can't. I have passports on my desk. I have, I have a lot of random stuff on my desk. If somebody came in here, they'd be like, "Who lives here?"
Well, I'm in the middle of studying for a big final, so I've got my
Ooh,
stack of flashcards for my final. You know, just a stack of flashcards for a final.
Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them.
Yeah, that one's a good one. I have it. It is an amazing book. Totally recommend that one. Buckland's, of course, obviously I recommended that already because it is
Mhm.
good. And of course, Julia Iles' Encyclopedia series, like the Book of Spirits, the Book of Spells, those are amazing.
I have the Encyclopedia of Spirits.
Yeah, that's a lot of cards, Maria. It is indeed. Sorry, I got to write this book down from Carol real quick.
Oh no, you're good.
I don't think I've actually read that one. All right, cool. But there are lots of actually good books for Hearth Witch. They may not be specifically for a Hearth Witch, but they wind up being kind of multi-purpose. Um, we could probably take that as a takeaway idea for a topic that we could do for another live. So I'm going to write down some topic ideas. What kind of book series would you like us to do? So I'm going to put down Hearth Magic for one.
I'm gonna write these down too. As I'm sitting here with my to-do list that I didn't check anything off of. We're just gonna pretend I checked off something. But in my defense, I got busy. So.
Yeah, no, life happens. I understand. And yes, little 3x5 note cards, flashcards are great for writing down spells. It makes a very portable book of shadows to take with you, especially since you can get like a case like this, like you put your recipes in, or you can even get the smaller, skinnier ones. They have so many different things you can do that.
We
Green witchcraft, yes, Ellen, yes.
So my husband and I are very, very cheesy, and I buy the colorful note cards, and we actually write each other notes every day on them.
Aww.
So I always have like a ton of note cards in the house just because we use them all the time. Yeah, I have a whole stack. Like it's like I said, we're very, very cheesy. But this is actually just a very small stack. I had to keep like redoing it. Because I have an entire box full of all these note cards that we've written each other.
That's cute though. I like that. Ooh, I've got some good books on ancestor veneration, Sharon. I'm happy if we do that topic.
You guys are throwing out some really great ideas. I do like the essential oils. I do, because I have a ton of essential oils and I've been trying to work with them more. Because I use them for like I have a mixture that I use for like my headaches and things like that. And teas. I use a lot of teas now. Books on teas.
We could put that on here. Teas. So when you say books on folklore, Sharon, do you want specifically like folklore, or are you looking for like the actual folk craft magic? Because they are like they're similar and there's a lot of crossover, but folklore itself may be just more sometimes just myths and stories that are passed down like verbal, where books on folklore with folk craft and folk magic definitely are more specific and dive into different cultures.
And then like I do have some green witchcraft books. I also have some well, I haven't used them yet, but I know they did like shadow journals. Like I know they did a series on those, but those you can actually buy the books and actually use the books and write in them. Even though it kills me to write in a book, but I know that's specific for that reason. Tarot. I actually have a really good tarot one that I just recently got. And I love it.
We're book people, so we're all going to have so many good books.
Mm-hmm.
So I think these are all amazing topics. More like the stories. Okay. Planetary. Hey, Maggie. Hey, Aries. We're just right now, if you want to still participate, we're just asking for topics for book reviews that you would like.
Yep, and we're just writing them all down. Astrology.
Astrology is hard to a certain extent. If you think about like the spectrum of witchcraft or kind of spiritual practices that you have, astrology is the more mathematical based of all of them. It's the hard science of our magic world. So there are some that definitely make it easier. But for the most part, that's where you're going to have to really work on flexing some mathematical thinking to really make it gel in your brain. And I'm sure Ellen can agree with that. Like it definitely is a lot. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I've seen some of Ellen's lives, and I've learned a ton from them about astrology.
Ooh,
Things that I didn't even realize. Like, I was like, dang, like,
ooh, necromancy. I got you, Billy Joe. I got you. Numerology,
oh,
obviously, that's also another hard science type.
yeah. Oh, I'm really bad at math too. That's why I have calculators everywhere.
Well, and that's the nice thing too. Like when it comes to numerology and astrology, there are so many accessory apps as
Mhm.
tools that you can use. I know several people that they do astrology all day long, and they have programs that they have spent buku dicky dollar that they use to do a lot of their charts, where they're just plugging in the information. Although at the same time, they also have tomes and tomes of books with dates in them and all the planetary and uh, star correspondences. So, like a lot. So, death magic and necromancy are a huge crossover, Holly. I'll go ahead and put that down. I have books on both, but they are really one and the same for the most part. The true difference actually comes in the wording itself. When people say necromancy, just to be a nerd for a second, because it's my TISM special, yeah. Necromancy itself actually was originally divining through the dead, right? Where now when we say necromancy, you're no longer divining with the dead. You're no longer getting that information from the dead. You're now talking about death magic, where truly they are two separate things, but death magic and necromancy, now that the wording is interchangeable in modern society. Not that it used to be. It is now.
Kitchen magic.
Yeah.
I see Birdie. I know. My dog is coming, hanging out in here. I guess not getting
Yay,
any attention out there.
Pepper. We like the dogs visiting.
My two, they're little attention babies. So even though they're massive, they're pit bull mixes, so they're not tiny in any anyway. But
They're still babies.
oh
Kitties
yes,
and boxers. They think they're like chihuahua sized. That's fine.
yeah. Normally they're not. Well, they come in here when I work, but normally they're not allowed in here when I'm not in here because I don't trust them around my books.
That tracks.
But I
Ooh,
do.
osteomancy. Love good osteomancy.
You guys have some great suggestions, so I'm really loving it. I have a feeling that we're going to have a lot of topics for the next coming. Now, we may not have all these books, but we can always find them online and at least, get a general idea for everybody and things like that. All right, bud.
Uh, I mean, for the most part, I think I have books on each of these topics so far, but I always like to get more.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I think the one I probably have the least on so far is going to be Celtic magic, because it just
Okay.
doesn't resonate with me as much. But that doesn't mean that I don't have books on it. I just don't have as many.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean I won't buy more.
I am super excited for this, Haley. Like I said, I live and breathe books, so I have
Yep.
them all over the place. One of my most favorite fiction series just got turned into a TV show, so I'm like book central like all the time.
Yeah. Like, so my mom and myself, our family is always like my sisters would tease my mom, my dad would tease my mom, my husband teases me. Like I could read easily a book a day. Then we're talking like 300 to 400 page book a day, but
Yep.
that's once again a autism trait that I have, and I can't help it. And it sucks because when you read that many books, it's a lot of money.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and it takes up space if you buy them and keep them. So But I think that's going to be a good series because I think there's so much diversity that people
Mhm.
can, chime in on.
Oh yeah. Oh
Norse.
yeah.
Ooh, I think it would be fun to do some witchy fiction as well.
Oh yeah. I would love to do some witchy fiction. That would be great. And I have quite a bit of those too. So, and I also, there's actually an actress who wrote, um, it's called Grimoire Girl. It's by Hillary Burton Morgan, and that is a really really good book. I mean, it's not fiction, it's nonfiction, but it's really cool. Like she throws a lot of her personal take on it and on a lot of things, and it's just really a really cool read.
Yeah, I mean, to me, a book is a book is a book is a book. I love them all. So, fiction, nonfiction, they all make me happy.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm definitely a book central over here.
Ooh, left-handed path books. Yep, we can do that too. Let me add that to the list. All right. I think we have a pretty substantial list.
Oh yeah.
So I think all we have to do now is choose what's our next month's topic for our book review.
Yeah.
And we also aren't going to just do book reviews too, ladies. We had talked about doing apps and podcast review as well, because we also are multimedia, practitioners. We listen to things. We, use different things on our phones, for different purposes. So we're going to review those as well. So if it fits in line with our topic, I think that will probably be when we slide in those podcasts and the apps. Unless
Mhm.
we just feel like just randomly doing just a podcast one or an app one.
Which that would be kind of cool too, because like I said, there's a lot of podcasts out there, and there's a ton of apps. I mean,
Oh,
can't use a
man.
ton of them, but I know I have a ton of apps on my phone that are just, because I was looking at them the other day, and I'm like, dang, my folder just keeps growing.
Yep. And I do. I keep mine in a folder too, so I can just access them right away.
Oh yeah, my entire phone is like everything's in folders. It drives other people crazy when they try to use it. They're like, where's this? And I'm like, oh, it's on this screen in this folder and on the second page.
Nice. I love it. Well, let's see here. I think we should probably call it. It's been almost an hour-ish. We
Yeah.
don't want to overwhelm you with our intro premiere episode of our series.
But yeah, I appreciate you doing this with me. I appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out with
Hey,
us when we talked about books and all the fun stuff. Good
I'm
stuff.
happy because you're a fellow book nerd. It brings
All
me
right. Well,
joy.
yeah, and thank you guys for, like I said, thank you guys for spending the evening with us and just chatting with us and giving us so many great suggestions. We're definitely gonna have a lot of topics to cover.
Yeah, we have like 2 years worth of topics now.
We do.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys. I hope you guys have a great night. What are the titles?
Ooh,
Oh, here. So I'm just gonna type my author name up in chat. And I'm not the author who writes children's books because some of my books are very non-child appropriate. But I do have an actual witchy one that just came out. And if anybody's ever watched Supernatural, my first book kind of has a supernatural theme to it. So, but yeah.
excellent.
All
All
right.
right.
I think we are done, and give you guys all something to go add to your book piles. Maybe.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys.